I was looking through some of my old writings. I know, gross, right? And I had this poem book that I wrote in my freshman year when I was really edgy. Like, you know, I was one of those kids that you could basically sum up my attitude by cringe. Like, that's the only word you could use to describe me. I'm so happy I'm not that anymore. And to be honest, I realize I romanticize my mental illness a lot. I would constantly make depression and anxiety jokes. I would constantly glorify my own anxiety, saying that, oh, sorry, can't do that. I have anxiety. And like, when I say that, you could imagine just like, you know, sparkles everywhere. That was also the year I was 13 dating a 16-year-old, and I'm like, that's ex number 2. It's really weird. But that obviously didn't help, and it wasn't the healthiest relationship. I remember constantly being like on the edge whenever he was talking. That wasn't fun. Freshman year, cried in my English class like 2 times because I didn't understand what was going on. Also, that was the year that my vision started like conking out, and I was like, why can't I see the board? And I also got like constant headaches. And obviously my vision saying see ya was not helping my mental health at all, because I always sat in the back of my classes. I don't know why. I just did for some reason. And I'm sitting here at the board like, I can't read that. Then in October, I was being dumb and I was coring an apple. And I had a knife in my right hand because I'm a righty. And, oh my god. So I stuck the knife in the apple. I think you know where I'm going with that. I pulled it out and it was cut right here. There's still a scar. It's much easier to see in person. But after that, every single time I was near a knife, I was just like, you're gonna cut yourself, you absolute loser. And I'm like, oh my god. It got to the point where I was close to crying whenever my mom asked me to help with dinner. And I'm like, I'll help you, Mom. And then I'm like, I can't do this. Notice how I'm just gripping this finger. I'm not calling it trauma because it's not trauma. But it's an event that, like, all these are events that happened that kind of made me wary of everything and made me sick in a way. Anyway, that's all.